Hello everyone, today the topic of our fortune telling is why he is silent. Will he get in touch, call or take any step towards rapprochement? That is, today we will deal with you why this is happening, what is in his head, what is his feelings, and what is the prospect of him getting out to the connection that he will appear, that he will write or call. We will have 4 options. You think, visualize your person with whom you broke up, or you are in a quarrel, or you have a break in a relationship. You would like to see why he does not get in touch, and at the same time would like to see why a person behaves this way when he finally appears. Guess your own term, that is, for a week or a month or 6 months there. Well, let's start the first option. Why a person is silent, and why he does this, what he thinks is in his heart, and what is the prospect of what he will show up in your life, call or write or come, and also what is the prospect of his return announcement. That is the first step. So well, judging by the cards right away, I can say that he thinks that you broke his heart, offended him to the core, and some unpleasant situation occurred. You told him that he didn't want to hear. He certainly didn't expect such from you, that you can tell him so. He is surprised and offended, upset. Of course, he understands that he was wrong, but he thinks in every possible way. You know yourself, he wants to justify, put himself right in his heart. Of course, he is vague. He is in some kind of delay and uncertainty, but he is you in principle. He thinks that maybe you should write how to find out how things are, how life is, how your mood is, but at the same moment he is still in a state of mental crisis, a state of mental pain. The experience of cleansing, he really worries that this happened. He is discouraged, and 3 swords to us. It shows he is defeated, immorally painful, spiritually painful, yes, not pleasant to the heart, pain, resentment, disappointment, feeling that that's all it happened. Why it's not for what it is to me, what did I do? But still the prospects for the future, the time you have guessed. Here comes out the senior lasso, the devil. A person can appear, but he will not be sincere in his feelings or his promises in words. And to you at this moment, you need to watch what he says, how he tells you, how he presents it, because he will try to explain something to you, explain it, he will give some facts, arguments, but it will be mostly invented. It will be deception and disguise on his part. It can also be some method to meet with you and spend time in terms of sexual relations. He wants to get these emotions, plus, of course, he still depends on you one way or another. He is on a certain energy dependence on you. He still needs you, and he needs this kind of recharge, and anyway, he can't forget you yet, so he can't completely put an end to his heart, so that he doesn't plan anything else for you. Therefore, I think that all the same, the call of the message will be, he may appear, let's meet, let's spend the evening, night, I miss you, you are the only one, but not all the words that he will tell you will be really true. Why he doesn't write? Because he's offended. So far he doesn't dare, although in fact he is preparing to do it. This is our first option, and we proceed to the second option. Option number 2. Why they don't write, why he's silent, why is he missing, does he think he'll come back, will he write, and how will act to scold him. The fact that he will appear at the time you have chosen. You look here, it's very interesting. Now he doesn't write to you because it's hard for him to be with you. He doesn't understand you. He has a feeling that you don't understand him. Everything got bored. It became very somehow uninteresting to him. He actually thinks that he's such a whole wonderful score as long that for the sake of you he made great sacrifices in his life and you didn't appreciate it. He doesn't feel support from you. He thinks that you put a lot on him, and that now he has to decide to resolve it all. He seems to solve all your problems and difficulties, that he helped you in so many ways. Maybe, of course, he actually helped you, but he took a lot on himself. He thinks that you allegedly dumped a bunch of your problems on him, but he doesn't want to solve these problems of yours and life's difficulties. At some point he showed himself to be such a valiant knight, and then he began to understand that he already had everything at the limit. The end is already all his diligence, his effort, his patience, and he is now in such a state that he really wants to be suspended in limbo while thinking about something. Analyze, weigh all the pros and cons with you, compare what is possible with someone. For example, compare past relationships with your relationship, and most likely he is more waiting for you to take the first step of some action of emotions so that you once again prove yourself, and he has fatigue. In addition to problems with you, he may have problems in general, both at work, it's possible with friends, with colleagues, with money. Everything somehow fell on him, and he believes that he helped a lot of people, he already solved a lot, and that it's time for him to rest, so that everyone falls behind. Now I want to devote my life to myself like this. I decided to take a time out from everyone, and in such a suspended state he wants to think that some kind of insight into a new idea will come to him, new emotions. But what is the prospect? That the Knight of Pentacles will ride at the time you specified. The Knight is still, of course, a messenger, and I believe that a message from him, you will receive a meeting here. I can't promise, but a new message or maybe some comment on social networks will be from him the time you have guessed, or a little later he will mature. He will still cast his bait, but again it will be done exactly at that moment, so that you give him emotions. He feels that you do not appear, do not show up, and he will make this mark, and will wait for you to take steps. Such a state according to the second option. Option number 3, why the person disappeared, why he is silent, does not answer what he thinks about this, whether he wants to return, and what is the prospect of his return. Appearance, receiving devices from or calls the time you have guessed, is that we have swords. Swords and goblets, a very emotional situation. Most likely there was jealousy and someone third appeared in your relationship. Your partner was prevented by an outsider, blocked the road, and he is here to which you are looking now, even angry at you. Why he does not write just because he is angry, he is simply offended. There is aggression, and immediately he is overwhelmed with a bowl of emotions and feelings. He feels emotions for you, no matter what, so that you don't have a quarrel, parting, anything. A person feels sympathy for you, interest, passion, love. Perhaps this is not, of course, not love, for this very emotional feeling of sympathy, cravings. When in need there is you, but he understands that he has obstacles in front of him, circumstances, people that prevent him from being with you. Also have jealousy. He is very jealous of you. He believes that you provoke him to jealousy, that you are doing everything on purpose, adjusting everything to prove something to him. He is offended, but that's all. He still likes you, you like him, he is attracted to you. What is the prospect? That he will appear or write the planned date. The current prospect is not enough, because it is possible that his condition will even worsen. The Three of Swords, this is a state of depression. This is a state when there is no mood for anything. A person is killed, upset, trampled, but he thinks that everything is over, and he will be in this state of his anger, offended by the wall of you, and most likely he will not take steps to reconciliation in the time you have chosen, and there is little chance that he will return. And in order to somehow influence this situation, beer is very necessary for you to try them. Explain, of course, if you want to return this relationship you need to somehow to convince him, because there is jealousy. He thinks about some third person who prevents him from creating a relationship with you, and this makes him very nervous. He is very worried about it. It's a very difficult situation, not for the future, until I see that the person will still come to you in peace, and in general will make the first attempts to restore everything, to restore a lot of anxiety. He has aggression, a lot of anger, but there is still a feeling in him for you. There is such a third option. But we are proceeding to the fourth option. So, why did a person disappear? Why does not write why this happened, what he thinks he wants, and what is the prospect? That he will write to you, will call back, will declare himself the turn you have guessed, I can say, so that he now has a passion for another person. He is carried away. He fell in love with someone behind his hatch, in his nets. And there is a state here of a triangle, of a quadrangle. Well, that is, besides you, there are still options in his life, and the reason that the person fell silent was precisely the reason: attraction, flirting, communication with another partner, and with this partner he is very interested in him. They are very positively cool, everything is easy and fun, there is no need blue, there is no pressure on him. What he felt from you from there, everything is so great, you want to see you Yes, you want you do an apostrophe tc anyone anything, no one owes anything to anyone, no one promises anything to anyone, everything is so easy and positive. Now he is most likely having fun clubs and bars and restaurants and discos, or maybe at home, go for a walk and communicate with different people, girls and women, and the man disappeared. That is, he wants to take a walk to have fun, but he still has memory. Yeah, he remembers you anyway, but big, his head is full of other things: to take a walk, to have fun, being free, to be easy, without obligations, without problems. You can survive for your own pleasure, such a state of an egoist, but so far he is simply not ripe for a serious relationship. He is not mature enough to strive for something, to develop relationships, to grow in these relationships. It's easiest for him to grow as a person, it's easiest for him to take a walk, but this is his choice. We can't blame him, because he wants her so much now. His soul sings and plays at the moment. His soul asks for some entertainment, a pleasant time, the right to spend parties. There is very little communication, new, familiar with flirting emotions. One night stand is also possible. Everything is fine, everything is fine, and just the same. That's the reason about it. He just went on a spree with someone he hangs out in the state of a party goer. Towards you there are certain emotions anyway, sympathy still remains, but about the prospect came out the senior lasso is moderation, and if the tatter also falls out, then the leaders here will not soon have a chance. The D will appear when he is bored with this state of joy, and he will come and ask for care, attention, of comfort and warmth from you, but the deadline that you have planned, most likely this will not happen, will happen later. Yes, has a chance to happen, but later comes to his senses and will come to you to prove himself. I mean, yes, you may not have to be there with MS, something else, some kind of attention will give him a need for you, and whether you accept him or not, it's up to you to decide. We have such a fortune telling today. I thank you for your attention. Subscribe to the channel, write comments. All the best to you.